And Parade Marshal and Outrider Kathy Hawk brings the field out onto the track for tonight's first race. Daily Double Exact, then Trifecta Wagering. Number 1 is Look Maynard, owned by Alex Spence Jr., driven by David Hawk. Number 2, Native Dragon, owned by the Bay Racing Stable with David Miller. 3, Bearcat Hanover, owned by Lehman Gregory Chatkin and Stambaugh with Del S. Miller. Number 4, Blast the Siren, owned by James Davis and Mary Arnold. Randy Tharps will be aboard. 5 is Suburbanite, owned by David Cooper and Gene Hall. Mark Winters in the bike. 6, Shady Rival, owned by Dan Meyer with Brad Hanners. 7, Bailey's and Cream, owned by Ellis Bryant with Bobby Mattingly. And number 8 is Park Lane's Choice, owned by Andrew Briner. Ken Holiday will be in the sulky. 7 minutes till post time. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Native Dragon takes the lead. Blast the Siren between horses. With a rush in the far outside, Park Lane's Choice is into third. Look Maynard kicks out fourth. Bearcat Hanover fifth. Followed by Suburbanite, Shady Rival. And at the end, it's Bailey's and Cream. And we're off to the rodeo here in the opener already. Nearest rail, Blast the Siren on top. Park Lane's Choice swings up on the outside. He'll get the quarter call. Park Lane's Choice rolls to command, 28 2/5. With a rush on the outside, here comes the favorite Native Dragon to get the lead. Native Dragon moves away on top easily by 2 lengths. Park Lane's Choice settled down in second. Blast the Siren third. White Hood of fourth is Look Maynard. Ranging up on the outside, Suburbanite. Around the paddock turn, Bearcat Hanover. Followed by Shady Rivals. And from the back of the bar, here comes Bailey's and Cream. Hub to hub at the half-mile pole in a solid 57 2. Native Dragon has the lead. With a rush on the outside, Blast the Siren is on the attack to second. Down the backstretch, that's Park Lane's Choice in third. Ranging up on the outside, Suburbanite to fourth. Look Maynard nowhere to go in fifth. Bearcat Hanover up on the outside. Shady Rival seventh along the rail. Bailey's and Cream looking for a top shelf journey. Racing by 3/4. The master of I Can Make Them Go Faster goes on by the favorite easily in 125 2. Driving around the far turn, Randy Tharps has got this guy under a double, and I mean a double purple. Baby Nelson, Blast the Siren. The only battle is going to be against the clock. Blast the Siren on top by a widening 8. He is all alone. It's Blast the Siren, Native Dragon, and Bearcat Hanover closing late for third. Result of the first race is now official. Here is the winner, number 4, Blast the Siren. 3-year-old bay gelding by Nuclear Siren out of Patsy Elmhurst, owned by James Davis of Lebanon, Mary Arnold of Beaver Creek. Trained by David Perry, given a well-judged drive tonight by the master of I Can Make Them Go Faster, Randy Tharps. The mile here in 153 3 and a lifetime best for Blast the Siren, the winner. Next race post at 7:23, the exact at $20.80, and the first race trifecta, 405.80. Here comes the field for tonight's second race. Number 1, Bubba Gump, owned by Scott Ezo, driven by David Miller. 2-hour Big Cat, owned by Diamond Chip Stable. Ron Anderson, driven by Chip Noble. 3-arm Bronate, owned by Robert Deal, and the driver is Jeff Fout. 4, Fortune on Hold, owned by Herb Miller, Richard Garner, and Don Tracy. Jack Daly will be aboard. 5, Noble Sam, owned by Vincent Rakestraw, Greg Radosky, and Vince Miller. Dan Ader will be in the bike. Number 6 is Thunder Dan, owned by Neil and Betty Bauer with Ken Holiday. 7, DC Falcon, owned by Jeffrey and Kevin Reed, along with the driver, Dean Collins. And number 8 is Western Pursuit, owned by Darby's Edge Stable and John George Kohler. Mike Wilder will be in the sulky. 7 minutes till post time. They're off and pacing. DC Falcon on the far outside takes the lead. Western Pursuit with a rush on the extreme outside the second. Thunder Dan looks for the 3-hole duck and tuck, followed by Our Big Cat on the turn. Bubba Gump, Armbro Nate, followed by Fortune on Hold, and Noble Sam is the trailer. Western Pursuit goes on by to get the lead. Western Pursuit from DC Falcon, gap of 3. Our Big Cat, and they're flying. 27 3/5 past the stands. They roll to the half-mile pole. Up top, it's Western Pursuit, who leads by an easy 2. DC Falcon, the stalker, followed by Our Big Cat, who in essence cuts his own mile from third. Back on the attack, Thunder Dan already under the whip from fourth. Bubba Gump has now set sail, tipping and rolling. Armbro Nate, Fortune on Hold, fourth over on the outside, and at the end it's Noble Sam. They're at the half-mile pole in 57, a taxing pace in here. Up the backstretch. 12-1 long shot continues to lead the way. Western Pursuit by 2. DC Falcon flying high in the pocket. Thunder Dan still on the outside, uncovered from third. Bubba Gump 3 deep on the far outside from fourth. He's not waiting. Our Big Cat, Fortune on Hold's got to like this one. Followed by Armbro Nate, and dropping out of it, Noble Sam. We're down to 7 by 3/4. Western Pursuit under Mike Wilder's high line leads the way in 1:25-1. Jumping off stride for no apparent reason, Fortune on Hold. 6 left in the second half of the double. Bubba Gump on the outside is up to challenge Western Pursuit. Bubba Gump now sticks his nose, his head, his neck in front. Our Big Cat closing down the middle of the racetrack with DC Falcon. But under David Miller's whip, Bubba Gump is going to get it. Our Big Cat, here's 3 Armbro Nate coming late. Here comes the unofficial winner of tonight's second race, number 1, Bubba Gump, a 5-year-old bay son of Abercrombie out of Mini Girl Mindale. Owned in Columbus by the Sausage King, John Scottizo. Driven tonight by David Miller for trainer Todd Christie in the mile here, 1:55-1. Number 1, Bubba Gump, the winner of tonight's second race, 1-2 exacta, $51.20. The try, 3:13.20. Windows are now open on tonight's third race, Superfecta. If you're on track, please wager early. Large crowd on hand for Jug Preview. Post time will be 14 minutes away at 7:42. There are no changes in the third. No changes. Here's the 1, Buck Hill, owned by Sturgill Lohman and Walter Miller, driven by Bob Harper. 2 is Let's Rock, owned by Towering Oaks Farm and Virgil Morgan Jr., driven by David Miller. 3, Dancing Tricks, owned by Brent Davis, Dave Hawk, the reinsman. 4, Pilgrim's Thunder, owned by Ed Mullinex. Mike Wilder will be aboard. Number 5 is Soft Pride, owned by Denny and Joni Centers. Tony Rose will be in the bike. Number 6 is Fiddler's Fun, owned by Arsena Farm with Ken Holiday. 7, Scootin' Bill, owned by Rhonda Stidham and Linda May with Rocky Stidham. Number 8, Eternal Force, owned by Scott Glennon and Mark Gator. In the bike, Jeff Fout. 9, Boots Burner, owned by Daniel Boggs with Brad Hanners. 10, KL Sharpshooter, owned by Betsy Pierce. Chip Noble is in the sulky. 6 minutes till post time. Superfecta Pacers are at the gate and moving through the turn. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Soft Pride, the long shot between horses, takes the lead. Dancing Tricks, Pilgrim's Thunder, the late lever. Eternal Force wide and driving on the far outside. Followed up by Let's Rock in the 5th, the rail guy. Buck Hill out of the second tier, KL Sharpshooter. Midway on the turn, Fiddler's Fun, Scootin' Bill. The trailer is Boots Burner. 3 deep to the initial quarter-mile pole. Eternal Force is up on the outside of Pilgrim's Thunder in a lively 27-2. From the outside, here comes Eternal Force to get the lead. Eternal Force drives away as a 6-5 favorite, followed by Pilgrim's Thunder, who's on his heels in second, coming right back out. Followed by Soft Pride, who is into third, gap of 3, Dancing Tricks. Let's Rock stays in. Here's Buck Hill up on the outside around the paddock turn. KL Sharpshooter is 7th. Fiddler's Fun is 8th between horses. 9th up on the outside, Scootin' Bill. Tailgate Boots Burner, 56-3. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Eternal Force chugging right along. Buck Hill sweeps up on the outside second. Pilgrim's Thunder skimming the pylons in third. Let's Rock got out. He's underway from fourth. Down the backstretch, Soft Pride in fifth. Fiddler's Fun catching the train. So does Scootin' Bill and Boots Burner from the back. Dancing Tricks Barrett in ninth and KL Sharpshooter 10th. 126 and 2. Field of 10 is hub to hub as they drive midway on the turn. Eternal Force is opened up. Eternal Force, Let's Rock is up on the far outside, followed by Pilgrim's Thunder as the field straightens away. May the Force be with you. Eternal Force has got the top. Pilgrim's Thunder is in the second. Fiddler's Fun on the outside of Let's Rock. Eternal Force in front. Brown Gelding by threefold. Out of Laura Lobel, owned by Scott Glennon of Frankfurt. Mark Ader of Washington Courthouse, trained by Dan Ader. Driven tonight as usual by Jeff Fout to cover them out here in 155. The Wind Machine makes it 3 in a row and 5 out of his last 6. 8 Eternal Force, the winner of the third. Post time in 14 minutes at 8:01, a great $14,000 invitational. Call Me Nuke, Light Source, No Doubter, Direct Bill, the $1 Million Man, Hi-Ho Silver Heels, and the $500,000 Man, Firm Belief. We'll go to post here at 8:01. 8-4 exacta 36.60 and the Super 596.60. Here comes the field of older pacers for tonight's $14,000 Invitational Co-feature. Number 1, Call Me Nuke, owned by Ron Gorby. Driven by Jack Daly. 2, Light Source, owned by Wico Investments and Tony Klyer with Chip Noble. 3, No Doubter, owned by Sylvia and Ron Burke, and the driver is Dave Hawk. 4, Direct Bill, owned by Walter Shepner. David Miller will be aboard. Number 5 is Hi-Ho Silver Heels, owned by the R&R Moorfield Corp. Myra and Mylan Smith, driven by Jeff Fout, and 6 is Firm Belief. Owned by the Decade Racing Stable, Hall of Fame driver John Campbell will be in the sulky. There is 7 minutes till post. And there they go. They're off and pacing. The 2, Light Sources off stride at the start. Hi-Ho Silver Heels on the outside. Direct Bill and No Doubter. Nice late duck and tuck for the 6, Firm Belief. After that comes Call Me Nuke and Light Sources out of this one tonight. Scramble Royal here from the outside. Direct Bill up the chase down. No Doubter. Hi-Ho Silver Heels 3 deep on the outside. Third, and they're flying by the quarter. Swift 26 and 3. Still 2 horses across the track, vying for command. Hi-Ho Silver Heels rolls to the front. Hi-Ho on top by an easy length and a half. Direct Bill is in the second, No Doubter third. Followed by Firm Belief in fourth. Call Me Nuke a closer fifth, and Light Source is now about a dozen from the front. And the $1 Million Man has got the top. It's Hi-Ho Silver Heels who leads the way. Direct Bill will stalk from second. They're at the half, 55 and 2. Straightening out down the backstretch, an equal half would tie the track record of 150 and 4. Up the backstretch, Hall of Famer John Campbell tugs the right line on Firm Belief. Fourth, third, second, he's going to try to chase down Hi-Ho Silver Heels. Hi-Ho is there by a length and a half. Firm Belief is uncovered a second. Direct Bill skim the pylons in third. Call Me Nuke live cover to fourth. No Doubter fifth, and Light Source 123 and 3. Flying around the far turn. Hi-Ho has opened up 2, 3 open legs. Hi-Ho Silver Heels. Firm Belief on the outside, trying hard second. Direct Bill can't go on. Any of them can't go on. Racing through the final 16th, it's Hi-Ho Silver Heels who has opened up 5. The track record is 150 and 4. 150 when he missed it by a fifth of a second. 4 Direct Bill was third, and 3 No Doubter was fourth. It's official. Here comes the winner of the fourth. Sponsored by Budget Car and Truck Rental in a near track record performance. 5 High-Ho Silver Heels, 7-year-old bay son of Walton Hanover out of Armbro Caprice. Owned by the R&R Moorfield Corp. Myrna and Mylan Smith of California, trained by Mylan Smith. Driven tonight by Jeff Fout. Covering the mile here in 151. Number 5 High-Ho Silver Heels, the winner of tonight's fourth race. 5-6 exacta 560. Windows are now up and on tonight's fifth race. Race 5, scratch 1, Bomb Squad Lame. Scratch number 7, Sharp Steve Sick. No carryover, post time at 8:20. Onto the track. Number 1, Bomb Squad, has been scratched. 2 is Forever a Pleasure, owned by Ellis Bryant, driven by Bobby Mattingly. Number 3, Polaris Parkway, owned by Florence Lenahan, with reinsman David Miller. 4 is Star Warrior, owned by Phyllis Crescente. Terry Groves will be aboard. 5 is Grayland Siege, owned by Laura Rowland. Tony Hall will be in the bike. Number 6, Best of Al, owned by driver Jeff McNabb and Mark McKnight. 7, Sharp Steve, has been scratched, sick. Number 8, Rocky Balboa, owned by David Franklin with Jeff Fout. Number 9, Deputy Workman, owned by Richard Shively. Elliot Deaton will be in the sulky. There is 7 minutes till post time. Field turn, starting gate is underway. And there they go. They're off, and pacing Forever a Pleasure along the rail takes the lead. Grayland Siege between horses. Rocky Balboa is up on the far outside with the odds-on favorite Polaris Parkway. Star Warrior, Best of Al, and Deputy Workman away safely. 7 are lengths apart into the first eighth of a mile. Grayland Siege has got the top. He's now under siege as Rocky Balboa comes off his bench, drives up on the outside from out of his corner. Rocky Balboa gets the lead in 27-2, racing past the stands. Rocky Balboa moves away. Rocky Balboa on top, an easy length and a half. Grayland Siege is second, followed by Forever a Pleasure in third. Polaris Parkway skimming the pylons in fourth. Star Warrior is fifth. Best of Al is up on the outside. Deputy Workman is the trailer. Action from mid-pack as Jeff Fout bids for the natural cart trick at the half in 56-3. Rocky Balboa continues to lead the way. First to flush, coming with a rush. Here's Polaris Parkway on the attack. In tight quarters along the rail, Grayland Siege up on the far outside. Best of Al. Forever a Pleasure dropping back. In between horses, Deputy Workman and Star Warrior. Forging to the front, Polaris Parkway. Grayland Siege is coming again. Rocky Balboa is in along the rail, third and 125-4. Around the far turn, Polaris Parkway on top. Driving up on the outside, Grayland Siege. Rocky Balboa back on the bit into third. Far outside, Best of Al fourth. There's 7 wide in the drive. Polaris Parkway, Grayland Siege on the outside. Middle racetrack, Best of Al. Rocky Balboa, Best of Al is coming. Best of Al gets there. Polaris Parkway. Star Warrior got up third. No changes in the sixth race. We'll set a post time here momentarily. 6-3 exacta, $21.60, and the $1 twin trifecta, $16.80. Next post is going to be in 16 minutes at 8:40. Next post, 8:40. Here comes the field for tonight's sixth race as they parade to the post. Number 1, Make Me Proud time, owned by Michael Bardo, driven by Ken Holiday. 2, Cam Country, owned by Donald Schaefer with Dave Hawk. 3, Come On Big Guy, owned by Suzanne Norfless and Jerry Summers with Jamie Dunlap. Number 4, Yankee Buccaneer, off the last week claim, now owned by Joe Frazier Jr. with David Miller aboard. 5, Mean Mr. Mustard, owned by Jim Borchers with Jeff Fout. 6, Stony Ford Kent, owned by Kelly Darrow and Eileen Bainter. John Campbell will drive. 7, George W., owned by Sergeant Hunt and National Trail Investment. Dan Ader will be in the sulky. 7 minutes till post time. And there they go. They're off and pacing on the far outside. Stony Ford Kent gets the lead. Quickly between horses, Cam Country, the 3-year-old Make Me Proud tie is along the rail. Followed up by the long shot, Come On Big Guy, Yankee Buccaneer, Mean Mr. Mustard, and George W. Securing the top, it's Stony Ford Kent by 2. Cam Country getting a little bit itchy in there second. Followed by Make Me Proud tie third. Thereby the opening quarter here, 27-3. Past the stands, they roll to the half-mile pole. Stony Ford Kent bouncing along an easy length and a half. Yankee Buccaneer comes to the outside. Onto the finish line the first time, Stony Ford Kent on top. On his heels in second, Cam Country. Yankee Buccaneer walking the plank from third. Mean Mr. Mustard is being taken to the outside, drives up with live cover. Toward the rail, Make Me Proud tie. After that, Come On Big Guy. Ranging up on the far outside, George W., 57-3. Hub to hub as they straighten out down the backstretch. Stony Ford Kent a half a length. Yankee Buccaneer inching up on the rim second. Down the backstretch in third. Cam Country out from between horses. Mean Mr. Mustard. George W. is into the flow. Nowhere to go for the youngster. Make Me Proud tie. Seventh on the outside. Come On Big Guy. Double-deckered at 125-4. Driving around the far turn. Stony Ford Kent by half a length. Yankee Buccaneer still trying hard in the center. Cam Country on the rail. Mean Mr. Mustard is up on the far outside, and George W. wide open here, far outside. Mean Mr. Mustard, Yankee Buccaneer. George W. rolling down the middle of the racetrack. Mean Mr. Mustard, George W. in the 4, Yankee Buccaneer. For Jeff Fout in the 5, Mean Mr. Mustard, a 4-year-old bay son of Western Hanover, out of License to Love, owned in Bellbrook by Jim Borchers, trained by Bill Walters, given a well-judged drive tonight by Jeff Fout to cover the mile in 154. Number 5, Mean Mr. Mustard. That's a 3-bagger, the cart trick so far tonight for Jeff Fout. Very tight for the place and show, and please hold all tickets. Print for show between 4, Yankee Buccaneer, and 3, Come On Big Guy. Print for show between the 3 and the 4. Here comes the field for tonight's 7th race as Kathy Hawk brings them out midway point here on Jug Preview Night. Number 1, Flight in Action, owned by Everett and driver Chad Clark. 2, Bob's Little Bird, owned by Karen Franzesi and Sherry Angelbeck, driven by Phil Cunningham. 3, Towner's Lightning, owned by June Asher with Brad Hanners. 4, Pack-a-Punch, owned by Edwin Cook and Justin Hall, will be aboard. 5, Samarama, owned by Marianne George and the Do You Mind If I Dance with the Old Date stable. Elliot Deaton will be in the bike. 6 is All Seasons, owned by Daryl Sherman. Dave Hawk will drive. 7, Lord Tinsel, owned by Doug Parker and Harry Berger with Darren Melzer. Number 8 is Out West, owned by Mark Clark and David Miller. Number 9, Dueling Fox, owned by Sharon Hedworth. Jeff Fout brings this guy out of post 9. 7 minutes until post time. Field turn, starting gate is underway. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Towner's Lightning takes the lead. Pack a punch between horses. There goes Samarama to take over. Flight in Action gets away fourth. Followed by Bob's Little Bird on the outside to fifth. After that, All Seasons. Out west is next. Toward the rail, Lord Tinsel and Dueling Fox is ninth on the outside. Scramble Royal here to the quarter-mile pole. Samarama's got the lead with an early brush to the outside. Towner's Lightning takes over. 28 2/5 past the stands to the half-mile pole. Towner's Lightning moves away on top. Samarama doing the ooh-mau-mau in there second. Pack a punch, the early leavers shuffle back to third. All Seasons up on the outside with Dueling Fox toward the rail. Flight in Action. Bob's Little Bird underway from the back of the pack out west, and Lord Tinsel is ninth on the outside. Around the paddock turn of the half-mile pole, they're hub to hub. Still in command. It's Towner's Lightning. They're at the half in 59-1. A moderate pace here in race 7. They straighten out down the back stretch. Towner's Lightning, well in hand, leads the way. All Seasons parked every step in second. Samarama third. Driving up on the far outside to fourth. Dueling Fox after that. Pack a punch. Out west, the steady game will now set sail 3 deep. After that comes Lord Tinsel toward the rail. Flight in Action and Bob's Little Bird. Racing by 3/4 in 1:28. Driving around the far turn. Towner's Lightning strong leads the way. Towner's Lightning on top by about 2. Out west comes to the far outside. Off the turn in the stretch. They're on their way home. Under Brad Hanner's high line, it's now Towner's Lightning. Out west is flying down the middle of the racetrack. Drivers to the whip. It's going to be Towner's Lightning out west and very tight, maybe the 5 Samarama. Towner's Lightning, a 4-year-old bay gelding by Towner's Big Guide of Lady Kenyon, owned in Morrow, Ohio by June Asher. Trained by Chuck Grubbs, hard driven by Brad Hanners, the mile 156-1. 3 Towner's Lightning, the winner of tonight's 7th race. 3/8 exacta, $23.80. The try, $97.20. Someone hit the twin try tonight, just a little bit less than last night. Last night paid $116,000. Tonight paid $601.10. Still our congratulations. That's away at $923. Here comes the field for race 8. Number 1 is Hideo Highlight. Over the Highlight stable, Ron Ridenauer, Brian Brown, and Bob Runzer with Dave Hawk. 2, Italian Stallion, owned by Ralph Conley Jr. with David Miller. 3 is Gifted Ruler, owned by John and Diana Ackley, racing on Lasix tonight for driver John Campbell. 4, Jamaican Me Crazy Man, owned by Chuck Grubbs and Brett Hannes. Number 5, Tell Me All About It, owned by Genevieve Cummins. Dallas Miller will be in the bike. 6 is Carlos Finale, owned by Hall Investment Company with David Myers. Scratch number 7, Mr. Senator. Number 8 is Highly Rated, owned by Darla Conklin with Jeff Fout. 9, Calf Hanover, owned by Sylvia and Ron Burke. Ken Holiday will be in the sulky. 3 races on Lasix. Scratch the 7, there's 6. And there they go. They're off and pacing with a rush between horses. Jamaican Me Crazy takes the lead. Followed by Kef Hanover up on the outside. Tell Me All About It away smoothly tonight from third. Followed by Hideo Highlight, Italian Stallion, Gifted Ruler, Carlos Finale, and at the end it's Highly Rated. Seating arrangements are complete into the quarter-mile pole. Jamaican Me Crazy's here by 2. Here comes Tell Me All About It driving up on the outside, 27-1. Eye-opening quarter here past the stands to the 3/8 pole. Being sent and sent hard tonight. Jamaican Me Crazy, Kef Hanover once again second, back to Safe Haven along the pylons. Tell Me All About It ranging up on the outside. Italian Stallion, Hideo Highlight. Coming on between horses, Gifted Ruler, Highly Rated up on the outside, and Carlos Finale trails the field. Action galore here at the half-mile pole. Jamaican Me Crazy, 55-4. Sparks are starting to fly on the backstretch. Jamaican Me Crazy trying to last while carving this one out. Driving up on the outside, Tell Me All About It. Along the rail, Calf Hanover from the back of the pack. Battalion Stallion. Gifted Ruler begins a serious bid from mid-pack. Hideo Highlight, highly rated up on the outside, and Carlos Finale racing by 3/4. Tell Me All About It has gone by a tiring Jamaican Me Crazy in 1:24, a murderous pace as they have an eighth of a mile to drive. Tell Me All About It has just jumped off stride. The 5 makes the break. Battalion Stallion, here comes Gifted Ruler driving up on the outside. Battalion Stallion, Gifted Ruler cruising on by. It is Gifted Ruler, Battalion Stallion, Carlos Finale closing late for the Scioto. Folks, waiting for some simulcast money to come in tonight from Chicago for this race. Waiting for the money to come in from the Illinois hub. We have posted 3 Gifted Ruler, 2 Battalion Stallion, 6 Carlos Finale, and 8 highly rated. In the winner's circle, Gifted Ruler, 3-year-old brown colt by Noble Land Sam out of Denora Hill. Owned in Washington Courthouse by John and Diana Ackley. Trained by Virgil Morgan. Driven tonight by Hall of Fame teamster John Campbell to cover the mile here in 1:53 and 4. Take a lifetime best. Gifted Ruler, the unofficial winner of tonight's 8th race. Here comes the field for tonight's 9th race. Exact and trifecta wagering. Number 1 is Gleave, owned by Alex Benz Jr., driven by Dave Hawk. 2, Bartolino, owned by Jeff Short with Ray Paver. 3, Blue Ribbon, owned by Joe Sobraco and Don Latore with Ken Holliday. 4, Gifted Cowboy, owned by Glenn and Norma Huber. John Campbell will be aboard. Number 5 is Money Battle, owned by Dan Russo and Robert Parker with David Miller in the bike. 6, Bread Box, owned by Clarence and Rhonda Gillum with Ralph Leo Grande. 7, Fools Russian, owned by James Shunk with Brad Henners. 8 is Matt Can Do, owned by Bruz Noble. Chip Noble will be in the sulky. There is 7 minutes till post time. And there they go. They're off and pacing, and Gleave takes the lead. Bartolino between horses. There goes Fools Russian with a big move on the far outside. Followed by Blue Ribbon, Money Battle up on the far outside. Gifted Cowboy, Bread Box, and at the end it's Matt Can Do. As they scramble into the first turn, and Gleave on the outside gets the top. Gleave on top by a length. Money Battle charging up on the outside second. Toward the rail, Fools Russian third. By the opening quarter here in a tepid 28 seconds flat. They're racing past the stands of the half-mile pole. Money Battle has brushed to the front. Money Battle on top by a length and a half. Gleave settled down in second. Here comes Blue Ribbon and Gifted Cowboy with a rush on the outside. Around the paddock turn, Fools Russian. After that comes the 2, Bartolino. Bread Box starts up from the back of the pack, and the trailer is Matt Can Do. They're at the half-mile pole. Money Battle right alongside Blue Ribbon, 56 and 2. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Money Battle by a head. Blue Ribbon alongside in second. Gleave is into third. Gifted Cowboy drives up on the outside, a closer fourth. Fools Russian is fifth, followed by Bartolino in sixth. Far outside, Bread Box and Matt Can Do, double-deckered into 3/4. Money Battle on top. Blue Ribbon and Gifted Cowboy on the outside in 1:24 and 4. Driving around the far turn, Money Battle leads the way. Gleave is back on the attack second as they race to the top of the stretch. Money Battle brings them on home. Money Battle on top by 2. Gleave has now come off the rail in second, followed in third by Fools Russian as the field moves inside the final 16th. It's Money Battle on top. Gleave is in second. Here's Matt Can Do coming late. Five, Money Battle, the unofficial winner. Number 1, Gleave was second and 8. Matt Can Do third, 2, Bartolino fourth. Here comes the winner of race number 9, Money Battle, a 4-year-old black gelding by Towner's Big Guy out of Time By, owned by Dan Russo of Westerville, Robert Parker of Quanah, Texas, trained by Jeff Cox. Winning driver David Miller, and the mile 153 and 4. 5-1 exacta 31.60 in the try, 269 even. $25,000 age sire stake is up next. No changes in race 10. Here comes the field for tonight's 10th race. $25,000 age sire stakes pace. Number 1, Heart Pan Soul, owned by Charles Miller, driven by Dave Hawk. 2 is Hercules Sabre, owned by Jerome Grogan with Mike Wilder. 3 Eyes of Tiger, owned by John Morris and Robert Morris with Ken Holliday. Number 4, Select Gem, owned by Daniel Boggs. Brad Hanners will be aboard. Number 5, Noble Ho, owned by National Trail Investment and Roxanne Ader, driven by John Campbell. Number 6, My Pleasure, owned by Leonard Rich and Leonard P. Rich with Lenny Rich. Number 7 is Meadowland Sam, owned by Tamara Hoovler with Randy Tharps. And number 8 is Chris Sabra, owned by Jack Shearer and Ronald Poisty. David Miller will be in the sulky. There is 7 minutes till post time. The Ohio Sire Stakes for 4- and 5-year-old pacers. And there they go. They're off and pacing. The 7, Meadowland Sam, was off stride at the start. Hercules Sabra takes the lead. Eyes of Tiger is up on the outside. Heart Pan Soul along the rail. Late lever Chris Sabra might duck in there third. They're moving midway on the turn. Select Gem. After that, it's Noble Ho. Followed up by My Pleasure. Meadowland Sam quickly catches stride. He's about 10 from the front. And they're flying by the quarter here in a sharp 26 and 4/5, getting a mild buzz out of the crowd. Eyes of Tiger has got the top. Hercules Sabra, they're going to get the Golden Journey here in second. Followed by the late lever Chris Sabra third. No tempo here in quarter number 2. Noble Ho comes to the outside. Heart Pan Soul is next. Here comes My Pleasure, Select Gem, and Meadowland Sam around the paddock turn to the half-mile pole. Eyes of Tiger trying to become the survivor in here. They're at the half in 57 and 4. Tepid second quarter of 31 seconds flat. Up the backstretch. Eyes of Tiger on top. Here's Noble Ho up on the outside. Hercules Sabra stays in. Chris Sabra's back on the attack. Followed by Heart Pan Soul, My Pleasure in the center. Meadowland Sam with a lot of work to do, and Select Gem can't go on. Racing by 3/4 at a quick 125 and 3. Backside 27 and 4/5. Here comes Chris Sabra up on the outside off of live cover. Little less than an eighth of a mile to pace. It's Eyes of Tiger on top. In between horses, Noble Ho. Chris Sabra winds it up on the far outside. The passing lane, Hercules Sabra. Noble Ho, Chris Sabra, Eyes of Tiger. Hercules Sabra, 4 wide here. And who do you like? Five, Noble Ho is the unofficial winner, and a very tight photograph for place and show, and the judges have requested a print. There is a print for place position. Here's John Campbell and 5, Noble Ho. 5-year-old brown horse by Meadowland Sam out of Udir Lobel, owned by National Trail Investment and Roxanne Ader, trained by Dan Ader. A couple for him tonight as well as for driver John Campbell. Chip Hastings, member of the Delaware County Fair Board, and his wife Kate in the winner's circle. Also, Chip is a USTA liaison. Chip Hastings in the winner's circle for tonight's 10th race Sire Stakes trophy presentation. Very tight for place and show. $71,500 first division of the Jug Preview for 3-year-old pacing colts, exact and trifecta wagering. Number 1, Browning Blue Chip. He's by Presidential Ball. Owned with a 3-Crown Jewel stable of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, trained by Brett Pelling. Lifetime best of 150. Winner of over $200,000 this year, driven by John Campbell. Number 2 is Casino Winner. He's by Cam Best, owned in Meadowlands, Pennsylvania by the Meadowlands Farm, trained by Dan Altmeyer. Winner in 151, driven by Mr. Tom Sells. 3, Set the Agenda. Winner last year at 2 in 152 and 4. He's by Die Laughing, owned by James E. and James Morris, Donald Eggers and Dean Davis, trained by Ben Eggers, driven by David Miller. 4, Art Dialing. Winner in 154 at Northfield. He's a gelding by Arts Place, owned by Mitchell, George, and Sanford Barron, trained by Randy Ward, driven by Joe Adamski. Number 5, Laredo Spur, winner of a 3-year-old open here last week in 152 and 3. He's owned in Meadowlands, Pennsylvania by Roy Davis, trained by Richard Stillings. He's by Art Place, and Richard Stillings will drive. 6, Ludwig Pan Beethoven by Cam Best, owned by the Peter Pan Stables, trained by Ivan Sugg with Dave Hawk, winner this year at the Meadowlands in 151 and 2. 7 is Going Like Sam, 4th in last week's $100,000 final of the Ohio Sire Stakes 3-year-old pace. He's owned in Lancaster by Dick Elwood, trained by Rick Hartman, driven by Mike Wilder. Number 8, Sports Machine by Life Sign, owned by Jay Ankeny, trained by Gary 2R Martin. Winner this year in 153 and 4. Ken Holiday will be in the sulky. 6 minutes till post time. Field 4, race 11 in behind. Starter Andy Albert, number 1, Browning Blue Chip. 2, Casino Winner. 3, Set the Agenda. 4, Art Dialing. 5, Laredo Spur. 6, Ludwig Pan Beethoven. 7, Going Like Sam, and number 8, Sports Machine. This field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off. Fan Pacine, Casino Winner takes the lead. Laredo Spur between horses. Sports Machine's going to leave from the far outside. Browning Blue Chip, the odds-on favorite, gets away to be a snug 4th. Midway on the turn, Set the Agenda, Art Dialing, Ludwig Pan Beethoven, and Going Like Sam is the trailer. Jumping off stride on the outside, that was the 8, Sports Machine. Laredo Spur has got the top. Casino Winner and Browning Blue Chip, they open up here. 27 and 3/5 past the stands. Browning Blue Chip comes to the outside for John Campbell and will brush to the top. Here comes Browning Blue Chip. Laredo Spur is going to try to go on with him. Nearest the rail, Casino Winner, followed by Set the Agenda, Art Dialing, Ludwig Pan Beethoven, Going Like Sam, and Sports Machine is the trailer with Broken Equipment. We're down to 7. They're at the half-mile pole, 55 and 2. Browning Blue Chip draws off by 2. Laredo Spur doing his best in 2nd. Casino Winner comes to the outside 3rd. Art Dialing is now underway. Set the Agenda, snug 5th. Ranging up on the outside, Ludwig Pan Beethoven. Toward the rail, Going Like Sam. And Sports Machine had to be pulled up. 7 are hub to hub. They race to 3/4. Browning Blue Chip is there in 124 and 1. Doing it easy so far. Browning Blue Chip well in hand. Casino Winner on the attack. Up on the outside, Art Dialing. Laredo Spur can't go on. Set the Agenda in tight quarters. Ludwig Pan Beethoven, Going Like Sam. Deep stretch. Browning Blue Chip made it look easy in division number 1. It's Browning Blue Chip, Art Dialing on the outside. Laredo Spur noses apart for 2nd. A 3-year-old Bay Colt by a Presidential Ball out of Backseat Driver. Home of the 3 Crown Jewel stable of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, trained by Brett Pelling, giving Hall of Fame driver John Campbell his 3rd victory on the program. Number 1, Browning Blue Chip, the unofficial winner. Number 4, make the number 5, Laredo Spur was 2nd. 4, Art Dialing 3rd. 3, Set the Agenda 4th. It's official. In the winner's circle is Mr. Bill Lowe, general manager of the Delaware County Fair, joined by Tommy Thompson, the president of the Delaware County Fair. Also in the winner's circle, this is Laverne Hill, Bob Steele, and president of the United States Trotting Association, Mr. Fred Noe. Comes the field for tonight's 12th race, second jug preview division. Number 1 is Cam Knows Best by Cam Best, owned in Pepper Pike, Ohio by the Peter Pan Stables. Trained by Brett Pelling, a winner this year at Harrington on a half-mile track in 1:53.2. We'll have the driving services of Ross Krogan. 2, Life Work, owned in Richwood by the Touch of Life stable. He's by Life Sign. Trained by Terry Holton, driven by Ryan Holton, winner this year at Hoosier Park in 1:53.1. 3, Indian Fever. We all know this guy. Last year's Ohio Sire 2-year-old champion when he banked over $121,000. He won the final as a 3-year-old last week in 1:52.1. Owned by Palpack Stables, trained by Dave Stratton, driven by Dave Hawkes by Noble Land Sam. 4, Sam Munition had a long winning streak snapped last week. He'll be out to make amends tonight. He's by Noble Land Sam, owned by Potter, Pauly, Festa, and Campbell. Winner of 7 this year, including a victory in 1:52.1. David Miller will be aboard. 5 is Seinfeld by Life Sign, owned by Melvin and Albert Siegel of Charlotte, North Carolina for Bud Foster. Winner of 7 of 13, 1:51.3 in his last race. Jeff Fout has the drive. 6 is Thursday by Jate Lobel, owned by Keith and Donna Ross. Ray Paver drives. The conditioner is Bruce Walls, winner this year in 1:53.4. 7 is Force of Life by Life Sign, owned by Brittany Farms, trained by Bob Siegelman. Winner in 1:52 with John Campbell in the sulky. Field for the 12th Jug Preview, second division, 6 minutes till post. Field turns there approaching the gate. Second division of the Jug Preview for $70,000. Number 1 is Cam Knows Best. 2, Life Work. 3, Indian Fever. 4, Sammunition. 5, Seinfeld. 6, Thursday. And 7, Force of Life. Field for 12 is at the gate and moving through the turn. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Life Work takes the lead. Indian Fever between horses. Sammunition rolls to come in on the far outside. Here comes Seinfeld with a rush on the outside, 4th. Cam Knows Best. Thursday and off the pace tonight from the outside post, Force of Life. Speed duel in progress here as they drive to the quarter-mile pole. Sammunition and Indian Fever heads apart. Seinfeld will join this early party from 3rd, 26 3/5. Speeding past the stands to the 3/8. Seinfeld on the outside, brushes to the front. Sammunition is in the second. Indian Fever comes to the outside. The Huckster made that decision early on. Followed by Life Work. Along the rail, Cam Knows Best. Thursday and Force of Life. Quick tempo here as they stroll to the half-mile pole from the outside. Indian Fever gets there 54.2 up the backstretch. Indian Fever tries to clear Seinfeld. He's fighting back. Sammunition drives up on the outside. Lifework's going to be taken along nicely. Cam Knows Best has set sail. Thursday not without a chance, and Force of Life's got 8 to make up. Action galore here in Division 2. Sammunition may be back on his game. He's gone by Indian Fever, 123. Driving around the far turn. Sammunition on top by a widening 5. Late rush on the outside for Cam Knows Best. Off the turn, in the stretch, they're on their way home. It's Sammunition on top. Driving down the middle of the racetrack, Cam Knows Best, and he is gobbling up ground and is charging at him. Cam Knows Best now gets the lead. Sammunition, here's Force of Life coming late. Colt by Cam Best out of Warm Ways by Direct Scooter. Owned in Pepper Pike by the Peter Pan Stables, giving trainer Brett Pelling his second victory in a row. In the Jug Preview, given a well-judged drive tonight by Ross Krogan to cover them out in a lifetime best 152. Number 1, Cam Knows Best, the unofficial winner of race number 12. Mr. Bill Lowe, general manager of the Delaware County Fair. Tommy Thompson back in the winner's circle along with Bob Steele, Laverne Hill, and director racing Jim Ewert. Number 4, Samunition held second, 7, Force of Life third, 2, Life Work was fourth. Comes the field for tonight's 13th race, third division of the 1998 Jug Preview for 3-year-olds. $71,500 the purse. Here, I'd like to welcome all of our friends from Hippodrome de Montreal and Blue Bonnets and all of their locations throughout Canada, coast to coast. Number 1, Artist Stenna. He's by Arch Place, owned in Montreal, province of Quebec by Acuri Stenna. Ran and trained by Ross Krogan, winner this year at the Meadowlands in 151. He's winner of this year's Adios. He's banked over $300,000, $400,000 in his career. Number 1, Artist Stenna for Ross Krogan. 2, Grand Avenue, a winner in 153 and 1, owned by Shapira Racing Stable and Tom Crouch. He's by Cam Fellum for Chris Boring and Jeff Fout. 3, Snickers Hanover by Arch Place. Owned, driven, and trained by Freehold's Carl Cito, winner in 153 and 1. 4, Scootin' Whiz, owned in Palm Beach, Florida by Bill White, White Creek Stable, trained by Ron Potter, driven by Brad Hanners, winner here in 153 and 1. 5, Pan Who Loved Women by Western Hanover, owned by Peter Pan Stables, trained by Brett Pelling with John Campbell, winner in 152 and 4. 6, Shotgun Scott by Western Hanover, owned by Eugene and Scott Kurzrock. Scott Morrell with Bob Turner, winner in 151 at Woodbine. 7, Pacific Dynasty, winner of a cane pace elimination, 4th in the final to Shady Character and Dragon Again by No Nukes, owned by John Stoddard and Robert Tucker, trained by Eddie Lohmeyer, driven by David Miller, winner in 151. 8, Give Me What I Need, owned by the North Woodland Stables, Paper Clipper Farms. He's by No Nukes, trained by Kevin McDermott for Dave Hawk, winner at the Meadows in 152. That's the field for race 13, final. Post time. Field is now in motion, and there they go. They're off and pacing. The outside guys look for the lead. Shotgun Scott, Pan Who Loved Women. Give Me What I Need is up on the outside. Late lever. Here comes Pacific Dynasty. Artist Stenna gets away. 5th followed up by Grand Avenue. Snickers Hanover and the trailer is the local guy, Scootin' Whiz. Scramble Royal here, jumping off stride. The 1, Artist Stenna, but quickly catches stride. He only lost about 2 lengths as they drive by the quarter. An eye-opening 26 4/5. 2 deep past the stands. Pan Who Loved Women goes on by the early pace setter, Shotgun Scott. Back in the 3rd, the 8, Give Me What I Need. Pacific Dynasty is 4th. Around the clubhouse turn, Grand Avenue. Snickers Hanover comes to the outside. Scootin' Whiz and Artist Stenna's got about 8 to make up. Around the paddock turn to the half-mile pole. Up top is John Campbell and Pan Who Loved Women. 56 seconds flat. They're out of the turn and down the backstretch. Pan Who Loved Women rolling right along. First to flush. Coming with a rush. Here's Pacific Dynasty. Artist Stenna is flying into contention as he gobbles up ground from the back of the pack. They're into 3/4. Pan Who Loved Women by a diminishing half a length. Pacific Dynasty with a rush between horses. Artist Stenna 4 deep on the far outside. Snickers Hanover, Shotgun Scott along the rail. Moving midway on the turn, Give Me What I Need. After that, Scootin' Whiz up on the far outside. Grand Avenue in 125. They're fanned out 6 wide on the drive to the wire. David Miller brings them on home with Pacific Dynasty. Artist Stenna still trying hard down the middle of the racetrack. Pan Who Loved Women is fighting back, but under David Miller's whip, Pacific Dynasty, Artist Stenna, and Pan Who Loved Women. Dynasty, a 3-year-old bay colt by No Nukes out of Crafty Caper by Tyler Bean. Owned by John Stoddard and Robert Tucker of New Jersey. Trained by Ed Lohmeyer. Driven tonight by David Miller to cover the mile in 154. 7 Pacific Dynasty, the unofficial winner. Makes that 12 out of 20 this year. Pacific Dynasty, the winner of tonight's Jug Preview 3rd Division. Representatives from the Little Brown Jug, Charlie Mitchell and Bill Mulholm. Also in the winner's circle, Bob Steele, Laverne Hill, Jim Ewart, and Sergeant Jones. The field for tonight's 14th and final, number 1, Robomac, owned by Chad Folk, driven by Rick Dingledine. 2 is Our Star Lane, now owned by Dan and Mark Ader and Benny Holler, driven by Jeff Fout. Number 3 is Sweet and Dandy, owned by Neil Long and Curian Farm with Brad Hanners. Number 4 is T.R. Sharp, owned by Randy White and a driver change to Joe Adamski. 5, Hawaiian Rock, owned by Alex Spence Jr. Ken Holiday is in the bike. 6, Doc Sable, owned by Melissa Levan and Herb Levan with Chip Noble. Number 7 is Market Rush, owned by Phyllis Crescente, driven by Terry Groves. 8 is Kaplan, owned by Victor Robertson with Ray Paver. Number 9 is Smokey Butler, owned by Crest Farms and Virgil Morgan Jr. with David Miller. And number 10 is Adcock Hanover, owned by Ralph Belcher and Nasif Omar Quintero. David Hawk will be in the sulky. 7 minutes till post time. Field is now in motion. And there they go. They're off and pacing. Smokey Butler on the far outside. Sweet and Dandy in Our Star Lane. Robomac along the rail. Followed up by the 10 Adcock Hanover T.R. Sharp. Down the backstretch, Hawaiian Rock. Doc Sable up on the outside. The long shots are next. Market Rush and Kaplan. Smokey Butler overcomes the 9-hole easily, gets the lead quickly, draws off by 2. Sweet and Dandy is in the second, gap of 4 to Our Star Lane in the 1, Robomac. They're flying now 27-1. Past the stands to the half-mile pole, Smokey Butler on top by 3. Long shot, Sweet and Dandy, the 60-1 bomb is on his heels in second. Racing past the stands, Our Star Lane, third, the red saddle pad of the 1, Robomac. Out of the second tier, 10 Adcock Hanover, followed by T.R. Sharp, Hawaiian Rock. Around the paddock turn, Doc's Able, Market, Rush, and Kaplan. They're into the half-mile station. Smokey Butler continues to lead 56-3. Up the backstretch. Smokey Butler bouncing along a length and a half. Our Star Lane first to move to the outside. Sweet and Dandy along the rail. Robomac is into the flow and Adcock Hanover. Off the 5/8 comes T.R. Sharp. Hawaiian Rock can't go on. Doc Sable, Market Rush, nothing yet from Kaplan. Smokey Butler has got the lead. Our Star Lane, Robomac giving way. Sweet and Dandy, Adcock Hanover's up on the outside at 125. Moving around the far turn, looks like a chalk player's fiesta. It's Smokey Butler, Our Star Lane, mid-pack move from Adcock Hanover. In between horses, Robomac, David Miller's rocking, Jeff Fout's knocking inside the final 16th. Smokey Butler, Our Star Lane. Smokey Butler, Our Star Lane, Adcock Hanover third. Here's the 6 on the outside. Doc Sable fourth. Brown Gelding by Star Butler out of Tinkerbell, Lobel. Home by Crest Farms and Virgil Morgan. Big nights for Virgil Morgan and David Miller. Smokey Butler wire to wire here, 154-3 and a lifetime best.